From undefined terms, makakapag-formulate tayo or makakabuo tayo ng tinatawag nating defined terms. Ano ba yung defined terms? So, for example, pag sinabi sa iyo yung word na levitate, dahil hindi ka masyadong familiar sa word na to, so i-google search natin para alamin kung ano ibig sabihin niya. So, pag sinabi natin levitate, it means to rise or float. It means na there are certain words na kailangan hanapin mo yung definition para maintindihan. Ganon din sa geometry. So, meron din tayong tinatawag na defined terms. Pag sinabi nating defined terms, these are terms that have a proper definition and can be defined by means of other geometric terms. Number 1, definition of line segment. A line segment is a line na merong starting point at saka end point. So, a line segment has a definite length. So, dito, pwede nating i-name yung line segment as line segment AB or line segment BA. Now, to represent naman yung measurement niya na 5 cm, we can write this as the measure of line segment AB is equal to 5 cm. So, makikita mo, AB is equal to 5 cm. Or, pwede mong gamitin yung may M. M stands for measure. So, yung measure ng line segment AB is equal to 5 cm. So, ito yung paraan kung paano natin i-represent yung measurement ng ating line segment. Number 2, definition of ray. So, a ray is a line that starts at one point and continues forever in one direction. So, mapapansin mo, meron siyang starting point at arrowhead naman, yung sa kabilang dulo. So, we can read this as ray AB. Ito naman is ray BC. Number 3, so definition of midpoint. A midpoint is a point on a line so that divides it into two equal parts. So, ito yung midpoint natin. So, it means na hinati natin yung line segment and AB into two congruent parts. So, ito, congruent dito. So, kung ang measurement nito ay 2 units, ang measurement din nito ay 2 units. Ngayon, pwede nating i-represent ito ng if-then statement. So, if C is the midpoint of line segment AB, then line segment AC is congruent to line segment BC. So, ibig sabihin, kung yung C yung midpoint, the same ang measurement daw ng line segment AC at the same din ang measurement ng line segment BC. Ano nga ba pag sinabi nating angle? So, when we say angle, it is formed by joining two rays meeting at a common endpoint called vertex. So, dito sa given natin, ang vertex natin is yung point B. So, an angle is represented by a symbol angle and it can be named in 4 ways. So, paano ba natin pangalanan tong angle na to? So, una, we can name this as angle ABC. Take note, kung ano yung vertex, yun yung dapat nasa gitna. No? We can use 3 letters to represent yung name ng ating angle or we can simply write angle B. Pwedeng isang letter lang yung vertex niya. So, this is angle B. Or, we can write this or we can rename this as angle 1. O kaya naman ay small letter B, that is angle B. Now, ma'am, paano naman i-represent yung measurement ng angle? All you have to do is you have to write yung small letter M do sa front ng angle. So, we can read this as the measure of angle ABC is equal to 30 degrees. Number 4, definition of acute angle. So, an angle which measures more than 0 degrees but less than 90 degrees is called acute angle. So, yung figure na to, no, we can represent this in an if-then statement. If an angle is acute, then it measures greater than 0 degrees but less than 90 degrees. Number 5, definition of right angle. An angle which measures exactly 90 degrees is called right angle. So, we can write this in an if-then statement. So, if an angle is right, then it measures exactly 90 degrees. Number 6, definition of obtuse angle. So, an angle which measures more than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees is called obtuse angle. Now, we can write this in an if-then statement. If an angle is obtuse, then it measures greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees. So, this statement is a true statement. Number 7, definition of complementary angles. It means that two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. So, pag pinag-add mo yung dalawang angle, equal siya sa 90 degrees, ang tawag complementary angles. So, yung example natin ng figure 1, 40 plus 50, na kung saan magkatabi or adjacent yung angle, so equal to 90 degrees, complementary. Yung sumunod na figure, magkahiwalay, or magka-separate na angle, but still, 27 plus 63, 90 degrees, still complementary angles sila. Now, yung if-then statement natin, if angle 1 and angle 2 are complementary angles, then the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2 is equal to 90 degrees. Number 8, definition naman ng supplementary angle. So, ito naman, dalawang angles na pag pinag-add mo ay equal sa 180 degrees. So, pwede silang adjacent, magkatabing angle, or pwede naman ay magkahiwalay na angle. So, doon sa unang figure natin, adjacent, magkatabing angle, 40 plus 140 is equal to 180 degrees. So, these two angles are supplementary. So, supplementary angle sila. Next, do sa sumunod na figure natin, 60 and 120. So, ang sum niya is 180 degrees. So, supplementary. So, ito naman ay magka-separate yung angle nila. Now, yung if-then statement niya, if angle A and angle B are supplementary angles, then the measure of angle A plus the measure of angle B is equal to 180 degrees. Number 9, definition of vertical angles. So, kapag meron tayong dalawang intersecting lines, yung angles opposite niya, ang tawag doon ay vertical angles. So, yung mga opposite angles na to, they have the same angle measurement. So, the same yung measurement nila. So, dito, sa figure na to, ang vertical angles natin ay yung angle 1 at angle 3, na meron silang the same measurement na 30 degrees. At yung angle 2 at angle 4 are also vertical angles na ang measurement nila ay 150 degrees. So, therefore, we can write an if-then statement based dito sa figure na to. If angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, which is true. They are both, anong measurement? They are both 30 degrees, no? Now, if angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical, then angle 1 is congruent to angle 3, which is they both have the same measurement na 150 degrees. So, ito yung definition ng ating vertical angles. Number 10, definition of angle bisector. Bisect means to divide into two equal parts. So, pag sinabi nating angle bisector, hahatiin mo lang yung angle into two congruent parts. So, pwedeng ang panghati mo sa angle ay line, pwede ring ray, pwede ring line segment into two congruent angles. So, makikita mo, they both measure 30 degrees na. Ngayon, yung if-then statement natin, so, for example, yung figure number 2, yung pangalawang figure natin na nasa gitna. So, if ray BD is the angle bisector of angle ABC, then, yung angle ABD ay congruent sa angle CBD, which is true. So, it means na kung yung ray BD, ang ating angle bisector, hinati natin yung angle ABC. So, pag hinati natin, ang measurement ng ABD at CBD ay the same or congruent, which is true. 11. Definition of segment bisector. Bisect means to divide into two equal parts. So, when you say segment bisector, ang ginagawa lang nito or ang purpose lang nito is to bisect. So, hahatiin niya lang yung line segment. So, pwedeng maging line, kagaya ng example natin, na kung saan yung line segment hinati nung line CD. No? So, pwede ring maging ray or pwedeng another line segment. Na basta, as long as na dinivide niya yung line segment into two congruent parts. Now, let us write yung if-then statement niya. So, for example, if line CD bisects line segment AB, then line segment AE is congruent to line segment BE. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, kung yung line CD, So, binisect niya or hinati niya sa gitna yung line segment AB. Then, yung segment AE, kung ano man ang measurement noon ay congruent doon sa line segment BE. Number 12, definition of perpendicular bisector. So, pag sinabi nating bisector, to divide into two congruent parts. So, it means na pag sinabi nating perpendicular bisector, hahatiin yung line segment, no? So, para mahati natin yung line segment, pwede siyang maging line, just like do sa example natin. Pwedeng maging ray, o kaya line segment, as long as na-divide niya yung line segment into two congruent parts, at, take note, at an angle of 90 degrees. So dito, dalawa yung rule natin. Kailangan, binisect mo or hinati mo sa gitna yung line segment, pangalawa, at an angle of 90 degrees. Kaya nga siya ay perpendicular. So, for example, so yung if-then statement natin, we can write this as, if ray CD, so dito sa given natin, ray CD is the perpendicular bisector. Yung inverted T na ito, ang ibig sabihin ay perpendicular bisector ng perpendicular bisector of line segment AB. Then, yung angle ng ACD, which is 90 degrees, is congruent doon sa angle na BCD, which is also a 90 degrees. Or, we can also write, no, if ray CD is the perpendicular bisector of line segment AB, then yung AC or yung line segment AC congruent sa line segment BC, which is also true. 13. Definition of congruent segments. So, pag sinabi natin congruent segments, so para ma-determine natin, kailangan yung line segment natin ay equal ng length. So, yung given na figure ba natin, equal or magkapareho ba yung length nila? Yes, pareho. Now, congruent means the same shape at the same size. Ngayon, dahil congruent segment ito, kailangan same yung size, no? Okay, dahil the same ang size nila, to represent yung congruent, we use this symbol. So, may yung symbol na to, yung equal sign, tapos may parang curl na nasa taas. Yan yung congruent symbol natin. Now, let us represent yung if-then statement ng ating dalawang congruent na segment. So, dito, if line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD, which is true, then yung measurement ng line segment AB is equal to the measurement of the line segment CD. Or we can write this as, if the measurement of line segment AB is equal to the measurement of line segment CD, then line segment AB is congruent to line segment CD. So, the same. So, true yung statement. So, kapag congruent sila, ibig sabihin the same ang kanilang measurement. Kung the same ang kanilang measurement, ibig sabihin sila ay congruent. Number 14, definition of congruent angles. Para ma-determine natin kung yung dalawang angles ay congruent, kailangan magkapareho yung kanilang measurement. So, sa figure na ito, yung dalawang angle na to, the same ba ang kanilang measurement? Yes, the same. So, it means na congruent sila pareho. So, let us write an if-then statement based dito sa figure na to. So, if angle A is congruent to angle B, then yung measurement ng angle A ay equal sa measurement ng angle B. So, take note. So, yung pag-measurement ang pinag-uusapan natin, equal sign ang gagamitin natin. Or, we can write this as, if the measurement ng angle A ay equal do sa measurement ng angle B, then, yung angle A ay congruent sa angle B. So, yun yun. So, parang ganito lang yan. Kung congruent, the same yung measurement nila pareho. Kung the same yung measurement nila pareho, ibig sabihin sila ay congruent. Now, let's have an activity. So, supply a valid conclusion and reason for each of the following hypotheses. So, dito, meron tayong hypothesis. Ngayon, sa kabilang side, nandito naman yung ating conclusion. Ngayon, para maging valid yung ating conclusion, kailangan meron tayong reason. So, ito, dito na pumapasok yung proof natin, no? Yung proof natin, so ano ba yung reason mo, bakit yung conclusion mo ay true? So, yun. Dito natin gagamitin yung mga pinag-aralan natin kanina. So, Sagutan natin number 1. So, if A is the midpoint of line segment HT, so ano kaya yung pwede nating maging conclusion dito? So, based dito sa figure na to, ano yung pwede mo based sa napag-aralan natin? So, what would be your conclusion? So, it means, kung hinati mo sa gitna, it means that the line segment HA is congruent to line segment TA, which is true. Ngayon, to justify yung conclusion mo, no? To prove na yung conclusion mo is true, ano yung reason mo? So, ang reason natin, definition of midpoint. So, yan yun. So, valid na ngayon yung ating first na statement. Ngayon, yung second statement natin, if angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical, so ano kaya yung pwede nating conclusion? Ano ba pag sinabi nating vertical angles? Ito yung mga opposite angles. So, ano kaya yon? So, anong pwede nating conclusion? So, pwede natin gawin na yung angle 1 ay congruent dun sa angle 2. Mali. Control N, mali. Definition of linear pair. So, ano pa pag sinabi nating linear pair? So, a linear pair is a pair of adjacent supplementary angles. So, pair, ibig sabihin, dalawang angle na kung saan adjacent. Adjacent means next to each other, magkatabi. Supplementary means, ibig sabihin, yung dalawang angles pag pinag-add mo ay equal sa 180 degrees. Just like dun sa figure natin. So, yung figure natin, adjacent. At the same time, supplementary. Dahil pag in-add natin, 120 plus 60 is equal to 180. So, supplementary. So, ito yung linear pair. So, let us write an if-then statement. Okay, if two adjacent angles are supplementary, kung yung dalawang angles na magkatabi ay supplementary, then they form linear pair. So, yun yun. Okay? So, ang statement na to is true. Tandaan, linear pair, magkatabi, adjacent, at the same time, supplementary. So, if two adjacent angles are supplementary, then they form a linear pair. Number 16, definition of isosceles triangle. So, when we say isosceles triangle, a triangle with two equal sides. So, meron siyang dalawang or congruent na sides. Now, let us make an if-then statement based dito sa figure na to. So, if triangle BTS is an isosceles, so kung yung triangle BTS natin daw ay isosceles, then, yung line segment BT ay congruent sa line segment ST, so, which is true. And now for our activity, you have to supply a valid conclusion and reason for each of the following hypotheses. So dito sa left side, makikita mo yung hypothesis na given. Ngayon, ikaw naman yung magbibigay ng conclusion. So ngayon, para maging valid yung conclusion mo, so kailangan mo ng proof, no? So, kailangan magbigay ka ng reason kung saan mo nakuha yung conclusion mo or bakit ka nakapag-come up ng ganong conclusion. So, kailangan, para maging valid, ano yung reason mo? Okay? So, doon natin gagamitin yung mga pinag-aralan natin kanina. So, let us start. Number 1. If A is the midpoint of line segment HT, ano kaya yung pwede nating maging conclusion? So, look at the figure, then check nyo. Ano kaya yung pwede nating maging conclusion based dyan sa figure na yan? Okay, so our conclusion would be, then, line segment HA is congruent to line segment TA. So, that is true. So, bakit? So, bakit nakapagbigay ka ng ganitong conclusion? So, anong reason mo? Anong proof mo dito? Kung bakit naging valid or bakit ito yung naging conclusion mo. So, your reason mo is definition of midpoint. So, yun yung reason natin. Kaya nakapag-conclude tayo ng line segment HA ay congruent sa line segment TA. Okay? Now, sa next statement natin. So, if angle 1 and angle 2 are vertical, when we say vertical, ito yung mga angle na opposite. Diba, meron tayong intersecting line segment na given. Ngayon, yung angle na opposite to each other, ang tawag doon ay vertical angle. Ano yung pwede mong maging conclusion? So, yung conclusion would be, then, angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. True ba yung statement natin? Yes, true to. So, ano yung reason mo bakit true yung yung conclusion na ito? So, ang reason natin, definition of vertical angle. Anong reason? Diba, kapag vertical angle, they are always congruent. Now, for statement number 3, if line segment PR is congruent to line segment AY, ano yung pwede nating maging conclusion? So, itong dalawang line segment, the same ang measurement, what does it mean? So, anong pwedeng conclusion? Conclusion? Then, the measurement of PR is equal to the measurement of AY. So, yan yung ating conclusion. Ngayon, ano yung reason mo? Ano yung proof mo para maging true kung bakit yan ang ginamit mong conclusion? So, ang reason mo is definition of congruent segment. Diba? Kapag congruent segment, dapat the same ang measurement, which is 5 cm. Next, number 5. So, if line segment PQ is the perpendicular bisector of line segment MN, no? So, nakikita nyo dito sa figure natin. So, ano kayang pwedeng maging conclusion? So, dito, ang magiging conclusion natin would be line segment MO is congruent to line segment NO. Bakit? Kasi yung PQ, line segment PQ, hinati niya yung line segment MN into two congruent parts. At the same time, at an angle of 90 degrees. Kaya, ang magka-come off natin, so dahil hinati natin, ang makukonclude natin, yung line segment na MO ay congruent sa line segment na NO, which is true. So, o kaya, pwede rin tayong mag-come up ng conclusion na yung angle na MOP na 90 degrees ay congruent sa angle NOP. Okay? So, pareho silang 90 degrees, which is also true. So, ngayon, saan ka na-come up ng ganyang conclusion? So, para maging valid yung conclusion natin, ano yung proof natin? Ano yung reason natin? So, our reason would be definition of perpendicular bisector. Take note, pag sinabing perpendicular bisector, hinati yung line segment at an angle of 90 degrees. Na kung saan nag-come up tayo ng dalawang congruent na line segment at the same time, dalawang congruent na angle. Okay? Now, sa number 6. If line YZ, so makikita mo yung line YZ bisect. So, it means hinati niya yung line segment na WX sa gitna. Ano yung pwedeng maging conclusion natin based sa figure na to? So, yung YZ, yung line, hinati yung WX, line segment WX. Ano pwede natin maging conclusion? Ano yung pwede nating nakita or ano yung pwedeng mag-come up na conclusion? So, that would be line segment WO is congruent to line segment XO. So, that is true. Para maging valid itong conclusion natin, ano yung reason natin? Ito na. Definition of segment bisector. So, dito, ang ginamit nating segment bisector ay line. So, tandaan, pag yung line, hinati natin yung line segment, nakabuo tayo ng dalawang congruent line segment. Okay? Which is, valid na ngayon yung conclusion. Now, dito naman sa number 7, if ray RS bisect angle ART, so yung RS natin, ray RS, hinati niya yung angle na ART. So, ano kaya yung pwede nating maging conclusion? So, dahil hinati mo, nagkaroon ka ng dalawang congruent na angle. So, that means yung angle ARS ay congruent sa SRT. So, ngayon, ano yung reason mo at nag-come up ka ng ganitong conclusion? Our reason would be definition of angle bisector. So, pag sinabi natin angle bisector, ang ginamit niyang panghati dun sa angle natin ay ray. So, pag hinati natin yung ray into two congruent parts, yun. So, ito yung meaning ng ating angle bisector. So, hinati yung angle into two congruent angles. Number 5, if line segment PQ is the perpendicular bisector of line segment MN, what would be the conclusion? So, dito yung line segment PQ, hinati niya yung line segment MN at an angle of 90 degrees. Kaya nga tinawag siyang perpendicular bisector. So, nung hinati natin yung line segment at an angle of 90 degrees, ano yung nag-come up? So, ano yung pwede natin maging conclusion? So, dito, dahil hinati natin, nakabuo tayo ngayon na dalawang congruent parts. So, tingnan natin. So, our conclusion would be, yung line segment MO ay congruent sa line segment NO, which is true. Nahati natin into two congruent line segment. Or, pwede rin naman na yung dalawang angle. So, nag-come up or meron tayong dalawang angle na naging congruent, which is yung angle MOP na 90 degrees ay congruent sa angle NOP. So, yun. Dalawa yung nag-come up dito or dalawa yung naging pwede nating conclusion based dun sa hypothesis natin. So, ngayon, para maging valid yung conclusion natin, ano yung reason natin? Our reason would be definition of perpendicular bisector. So, take note. Pag sinabing perpendicular bisector, bisector means hinati yung line segment into two congruent parts at an angle of 90 degrees. Kaya nga perpendicular. So, dahil doon, nakapag-come up tayo ng dalawang congruent na line segment at dalawang congruent na angle. Now, sa number 6, if line YZ, so makikita mo yung line YZ, binisect or hinati yung line segment WX. So, ano kaya yung pwedeng maging conclusion? So, dito, dahil hinati na naman, so, dahil hinati natin yung line segment into two congruent parts, so ano yung pwedeng nating maging conclusion? Nag-come up tayo ng yung line segment WO is congruent to line segment XO. So, yun yung na-come up nating conclusion. So, ngayon, ano yung reason natin? So, definition of segment bisector. So, pag sinabi nating segment bisector, ang ginamit nating segment bisector dito o yung pinanghati natin do sa line segment ay line. So, yung line, hinati natin yung segment bisector. So, nag-come up tayo into two congruent line segment. Okay? So, valid na yung ating reason. Now, proceed tayo sa number 7. Sa number 7, we have here yung ray RS. So, yung ray RS, hinati niya yung angle or bisect yung angle ART. So, hinati niya into two congruent parts. Dahil hinati mo yung angle, nagkaroon ka ng dalawang congruent na angles. Tama? So, that would be our conclusion. So, our conclusion, angle ARS is congruent to angle SRT. So, to make it valid, ano yung reason natin? Definition of angle bisector. So, ang ginamit nating angle bisector ay yung ray. Okay? Basta ang purpose ng angle bisector, hinati niya yung angle. Ang gamit natin ay yung ray. So, nakapag-produce tayo or nakapag-come up tayo ng dalawang congruent angles, which is valid na yung ating reason. Number 8, if triangle EXO is an isosceles, so kung yung figure daw natin ay isang isosceles triangle, ano yung pwede nating maging conclusion based dito sa figure na to? So, dito, when we say isosceles triangle, it has, meron tayong dalawang congruent sides. Tama? So, that would be our conclusion. So, yung line segment XE ay congruent sa line segment OE. So, para maging valid ang reason natin, o maging valid yung conclusion natin, ano yung reason natin? That would be definition of isosceles triangle. So, yun. So, kapag may isosceles triangle tayo, nag-come up or meron tayong dalawang congruent na sides.